Welcome back, Ducks fans. Here we are at the 2024 draft trade deadline. Um, we will look to see if there's a young player that we think might be a good addition to this team that's an NHL talent. If not, we'll just go up to the draft hopefully today. And so yeah, unless there's a really player that really sticks out to us, we probably won't be doing much this trade deadline. So. Dostal injury. Let's quickly just pull up a goalie so we can fill that, and then we can get to the deadline here, and then we can figure that out after. That's actually good to know that we only have 4 goalies now, and we have an injury. So I didn't even pay attention to when he's going to be back, but he wasn't playing very well. I was thinking about sending him down anyways, so maybe we'll pick up another goalie just to play in the NHL. Okay, let's get into the trade deadline here. Oh, I put by just by what I'm used to, but that's not going to affect much. So, all these guys are older. I'm looking for like under 25. If they're under 25 and they have good potential. We don't need Swayman. We've already been offered him and not really interested. Roslovic is 27. Doesn't really have room to grow. I wasn't expecting much here. Novak, he's 26. Every time this will just skip us back. Novak is 26, playmaker 81, top defenseman prospect, and ending contract probably UFA. Not really interest me. Bjorkstrand's older now. All the guys I remember being younger are a little bit older now, being in these games for a while. So there's some prospects here, but I've already traded my guys for prospects. Like, I have Killorn, but he has a contract, and we've been playing really bad, so I don't think there's anybody. Let's quickly just sim ahead, see if we can get to the draft here. Oh yeah, I was gonna look if there is a goalie, but it's not. It's not the biggest of deals because playing Gage Alexander in the NHL, I'm not too concerned about. He's not a high talent prospect. Okay, Tanev traded. Oh yeah, Calgary's just blowing it up. Oh, Calgary's just blowing it up. If only we were a buyer right now. Jakub Jaboril, 27. Doesn't really, like, no, not really any reason to. Let's look at our injury report, see how long Dostal's out. Oh yeah, it won't say. So, let me just look at Gage Alexander here. How's Jacob Perreault doing? 5 points in 13 games, that's not even that bad. Backup potential 21. I'd rather leave Klang down here. And then I might even send Dostal down when he's back because he has an 881 right now in only 15 games, but I might as well. If the AHL team is going for a run, which they are, so send him down for that. And so yeah, let's get up here and maybe we'll follow the AHL team after we make it to the end of the season. Okay, so Dostal was only a week. Okay. We will send him down. And then we'll put him in the lineup when it tells us he's healthy. And then he'll be our starter going in. We'll have a Czech and a Swede as our two young goaltending prospects as our tandem going into the playoffs. He's up to a 77 now, which I didn't realize, but yeah. I don't know why it says he has 16 games played now, but 881, yeah. Might as well see if he can finish the season in the AHL there just to help him. The AHL is just getting a bunch of injuries, which isn't great because that's the team we actually want to perform right now. Alright, so we'll wrap up our NHL season here, and then we'll get into watching the AHL team get into the AHL playoffs. So we finished where we should have. Second last ahead of San Jose. Holy 48 points. That's a horrible season. Calgary really struggling, just like in real life. So let's look at the entire league. I don't know if you guys want to see which teams were good, but Buffalo, Washington, Colorado, Vegas, Pittsburgh. Yeah, a few teams in here that in real life aren't. Ottawa didn't make it at 13th, 99 points. Imagine that. That's why I do not like the playoff system we have. So let's look at where we finished in the bottom of the league here. So we have the 6th, 7th best odds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We have the 7th best odds for the draft, so not exactly what we wanted. But, you know, I honestly have a little bit higher hopes of getting the first overall pick from there rather than if we were in dead last. San Jose just having a horrible season. Goals for per game, we're at 3, and then 3.6, so we were pretty bad with the goals against. But let's look at what the 3... Okay, so our goals for were pretty low compared to the rest of the league. And our goals against, yeah, we're about average for what position we finished. Looks like our power play was somewhere mid-table. And our penalty kill was also somewhere mid-table. I don't feel like scrolling all the way down, so you can basically just see we're not at the bottom or the top for either of them, which is better than because we were near the bottom for the standings. So for our team, forwards we had here, Terry had that injury at the start of the year where he missed a few, Strome missed a few, Carlson missed a few, Perreault we pulled up at the deadline, Leeson we pulled up as well, Max Jones got scratched. So in terms of points, that first line did insane. Killorn, maybe we can look to flip him. I just kept him because of that contract and it was working fine. McTavish did exactly what he needed to. He should grow quite a bit because this is kind of what he's doing in real life right now. Strome, that's actually huge too, 63 points with that contract. Hopefully maybe next season he can be a piece for us. Again, I'm not afraid to trade away those guys. Carlson, that's an okay season. I mean, he's a defensive guy, so I'm sure he's just like in real life. They're playing him smart. Minchikov led us for defensively. He's a two-way defenseman, but in the few games he's played already this year, he's more offensive right now, so he might eventually be an offensive defenseman. And it looks like he got some skills there. I'm not sure if I had him all with all those X factors. Drysdale up there. Gudis with 19. He's not really going to be much like a trade piece, or he's just kind of a guy. And yeah, just kind of some filler guys here. Stalock played 41 games, 890. Alexander, yeah, whatever. Rookies, we had Minchikov, Carlson, and Perot. Perot actually 14 points in 32 games. He was on the first line with those guys, but um, that's what a 30 point over a 30-point pace for the entire league. So we got Bedard. That makes sense. Yeah, looks like that ran pretty well. Minchukov actually fourth in rookie scoring as a defenseman. Not going to beat Bedard, but just like in real life, kind of realistic. Most wins, we had Kemper, Georgiev, John Gibson. Actually, we sent him to Buffalo. He played 70 games. I guess he's used to that. 916. Or, yeah, 916. That's good for him, man. I mean, we didn't get much for him, but we weren't really going to. Was there any really high? Shesterkin. Yeah. Shesterkin, Skinner. Oh yeah, super realistic there, hey? I already looked at rookie skaters. So defenseman, Adam Fox, 104 points. Shabbat, 98. Yeah, if he could. I'm surprised he actually stayed healthy because we have injuries on. Durability is even at a 69, so he got lucky with injuries, I guess. Who was really bad? Who was really good? Washington was a good team, so Faravari on the second pairing had a really high. Who was really bad? St. Louis looks like. Penalty minutes. Middleton just laying the bod. I don't even know if that's realistic with his discipline, if that's actually realistic. But let's look at forwards now. Yeah, McDavid. Ovi, I might in the next roster. He's gonna have to get like just nuked because he still hasn't picked it up. Like 78 goals. That's a little stupid. I gotta make him a little worse in the next roster update. Yeah, that's just that far ahead of everybody. Anybody here that doesn't make sense? I'm not even sure. Assists, who is dishing the biscuit? Yeah, that would make sense. Gensel. So it looks like Pittsburgh was good. Oh no, I didn't even realize that. Oh gosh, that sucks. That actually really sucks. That really sucks. That line was struggling. I should have maybe broken them up. Because we weren't that bad of a team, but that's not great to see. And Foligno, Delorier. Yeah. Who's shooting the puck? Yeah, that would make sense. Nobody over 400 though. I think Pasternak in real life had over 400 last season. Who had the power play points? Hughes. He's just a power play god. What about fights? Who's got some fights? Let's go to all skaters. Who's hitting a lot too? Nobody's hitting anymore. Only 199 hits is the most in the league. Fights. So Middleton, Foligno, and Delorier were just fighting each other. But Middleton and Foligno were on the same team. Oh gosh. Yeah, yeah. Corey Perry still having the game right now. Alright, so let us get into the AHL playoffs. They're still in the regular season, actually. I showed you guys the lines. They're basically the same from the start of the season. Jacob Perreault's been brought up since, but yeah, looks like they've clinched their division. Coachella Valley, they're playing here to end the season. I was actually watching this really cool YouTube video. I don't know if any of you guys watch Good Golf, They just dropped a YouTube video where they played some of the Coachella Valley Firebirds. One of the people they played was Shane Wright. Um, it was Shane Wright, Luke Henman, a couple other guys from the team. 11-2 win to start the series. That's good. And this is a 5 game, so we have to just win one more. Oh, shutout. So yeah, I would recommend go check out that if you guys like golf and you're a big fan um, hockey. So what's going on here? I wasn't paying attention. Who do we have for injuries? Cause yeah, so Pastujov and Kulich. That's not good. And Pastujov is out for a month. So I might have to edit our lines quickly here, see if we can just get our best players. I might just go best lines, because then it'll just put our top guys up there. Rather than just what I had for growth in the regular season. I'm not going to send anybody down for the... Well, maybe I could. I'll check who I might be able to send down for the... maybe I should have done this before the season. I don't really care about Ross Johnston, but Perreault I should send down because he doesn't have waivers. Does anybody else not have waivers? I'm not going to send down them for the playoffs, but... Actually, you know what? I never send guys down. I'm going to send Carlson down for the playoffs because he had such a plus-minus season, but that was so bad that I'm just going to throw him in there to maybe boost his confidence. Maybe Brett Leeson too. Send those 3 down. And then we'll just go best lines. NHL lines obviously doesn't matter, the season's over. Boys are out golfing. And then AHL. I know it's the last game of the series, if this doesn't really matter if we lose, but maybe get Carlson a little bit more confidence. Oh God, yeah. Well, that was kind of a waste of time, but we definitely shouldn't have lost that. Let's just look at the stats quickly. It must have been the goaltending that did us in there, because I can't think of... We had 11 goals in the first game, so... Yeah, Dostal just struggling. Hopefully that won't affect him going forward here. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. Because we won the first 2 games of that series, but let's just get up to the trade deadline here. Or not the trade deadline, the draft. Alright, so normally I would stop the sim here just after the cup's been awarded and so we can start re-signing guys, but we don't like have anybody to re-sign, so I'll just save it all for the off season after the draft. So I guess we'll get up. The next screen is the lottery results. We have only one our pick, which is 7th in the lottery. So maybe we can jump up even a few spots. Let's look at the draft again before we get in there, just to see what we're looking at. So if we stay put where we are, obviously there's all these added in guys, which I don't love. If we stay put where we are, we have Catan here. I think he's not an elite. He might be a high top 6. He might even be a medium top 6. Dickinson would be good. I know he's high top 4. That's the thing about, like, I know all the potentials of these guys. Obviously, these guys are going to be higher, like, good elite guys, which we could cheese it like that. It's not as fun, so I'm kind of hoping we move up maybe a few spots, and we can get, like, Celebrini, and we can pretend like we got the first overall pick. Again, this all kind of ruins it, but I'd like to get, like, one of these 3 guys. Levshunov would be fine. I mean, we just got Christian Kyrou as a righty defenseman, but yeah, I'd be happy with especially these 3 guys, which just move up a couple spots maybe. I don't think I'll take any of the created players because I'd rather take a real world guy. And we moved down, so I guess we'll have a whole other situation there. Looks like Calgary got just a bunch of picks. Let's look at our retired players. There shouldn't be too many. It's just ones that make sense in free agency. Who do we got for defensemen? Jack Johnson, Scandella. Not too much in the first year here. And I guess normally I don't do draft interviews, but for the fun of the video I will. And it looks like we'll have enough time to get into the draft. This guy looks like he would be a two-way defenseman. I don't need another lefty defenseman, so I should for sure not take that guy if I trade it up. I don't think it really matters, because maybe I'll see what this guy is, just in case we want to trade up. I always just do play style and readiness. So he's a two-way, looks like. Should be an elite. Normally that's all I do, but I guess I'll just pick one more. Let's do weaknesses, see what his weaknesses are. Alright, don't love to see that, but I guess he kind of is a player like I am in real life, not very aware out on the ice. Weak senses, just like me. Victor Hedman comparison, yeah. Right-handed Victor Hedman too, that would be lovely. So he had 8th overall. Sam Dickinson could be a guy. Doesn't exactly fit what we need. Same with like McEachran, because like we already have Minchikov and why can't I think of his name right now? From the WHL, that guy, defenseman, as a prospect. Two-way forward. I don't love taking two-way forwards, although like he wouldn't be like an elite first liner. Salayev would be an interesting one. He could be like a really good third pairing guy, although not exactly what you want. Juracek, he could be a good one as well. I kind of want to go for a forward. I don't think he has a gold. It's showing that. I don't know if I need a center either. Cole Hudson. Not as good as his brother currently in the game. Like, we could trade down if there's not, like, I almost want to just trade up for one of these two centers, or these two forwards. Like, obviously Celebrini would be awesome. Yzerman is not quite as ready. I think I've done, maybe I'll see what Catan is as well, just so we get a little bit of info on him, and then we'll be good for interviews. So he's a playmaker. Couple of years, so yeah, 2 years away. I think he's probably a medium top 6 if I can remember. So he's not physical, which if he's going to be an elite player, that's not that big of a deal, but I'm not sure if he'd get there. What does it show us now? Shows us high top 6. So maybe I did make him a high top 6, which would be fine. I'd be fine with that. Obviously we have the 8th pick, so he would have to fall or we'd have to trade up. See what our scouts did this year. Obviously he's not a high elite. Yeah. There's not going to be that much, because most of these are... There's this guy. 4 years away. I like those strengths as a guy who would be more of a depth player for us. Definitely would be a guy I would take if we have one nice in that area. What about this guy? Is he a real life guy? Yeah. I think this guy is probably a high top, a high bottom six forward potential, I think, if I remember correctly. But it looks like he'd be a good, although he has a weak character. I don't think that really matters, but I don't love that. Just skip past those. Not really what I'm looking for here. Sniper, a top 9. These guys could be guys. I know this guy's real. This guy's not real. I don't like taking defensive defensemen as much. He has 17, that guy. This guy's righty-lefty. Showing up as a two-way, but it looks all... Oh yeah, he's a two-way. This guy I think I'd like to take. And I think, yeah, that's good. We can go to the draft and see if anybody wants to trade. Yeah, looks like we'll have time to get into this draft today. So let's get through the draft, see what we got. So nobody ahead of us wanting to trade. Celebrini was at 4. Chicago shouldn't be. Yeah, their seller. Like the Jets, they should be listed as a conservative buyer. Yeah. So that could be something we look at. Obviously, we don't have a bunch of time if we're going for that. Conservative seller might be able to get that. And after, okay, the Islanders, maybe let's look at the Jets, and then if not, trade at 6 there, and we can look to get Levshunov, I believe, there, and we could probably put one of our other righties in. Let's go quick here. So we got 8th overall, 20th. I did actually like some guys around that area, so I'll leave that out of the trade. I'll give you this second because I think that'll be fine, and I'll give you probably a couple thirds. There's a guy around that area I liked, so I'll give them this. So that's 4. And then maybe who from here would we be fine giving up? Like, we could get rid of one of these guys already. If they are buyers. Strome. I actually heard in real life Winnipeg was the other place looking to get Strome. So maybe we'll just say that's realistic, that they were interested in him before, and throw him in this stat growth, because he had 63 points. I think that would make him interesting. So a first, 8th overall, a high second, a high third, and a late third and Strome for the first overall. There's a franchise guy. I guess we should take him if that guy's there. I feel like this is kind of realistic. They might reject it. Okay, they accepted it. I don't know if that's realistic. I maybe should have given them more, but I guess that changes our plan. And then we still have, let's call timeout quickly. We still have 20th, so first overall here, we have this Conray guy, 17. Wayne Gretzky comparison. I love how easily they give out Wayne Gretzky comparisons. He had, oh my lord, 113 points in the USHL. So obviously we could take Celebrini and say, oh yeah, we traded up for the first overall pick and took Celebrini. I have used him before, I don't know. We'll have to make that decision. You guys might not like me if I don't take the guy, or maybe you won't like me if I do. So, who did I like back here? I like Tanner Howe, mostly because he was 2 years away. Um, we would have to force him into the top 6 because I wouldn't really play him lower. He was the guy playing with Bedard, and he got in his 16-year-old year he was just getting carried by Bedard. Emil Hemming. I know I made him pretty good. Balance, puck protection, agility. Like, it looks like he'd be more of a guy I'd like there. I'm not really interested in a defenseman. Unless they're really good. Oh my. Oh yeah. He should be going higher. I made him a low franchise. Because I thought he'd go a little higher. Because he's listed like in the top 10 right now in the draft, maybe even top 5, but just being from Russia, like, again, I don't really know. Maybe I should just make him a high top 6. I might take him for the fun of it. I mean, it's a little cheese knowing that he is that good. Oh, here's another created guy. Two-way forward. Like, this would be a guy I'd like to play on my third line. If only I didn't trade that second, I could have had that too. Maybe I'll trade down for that. Let somebody else take the kind of cheese thing. They might not even develop him very well. Because defensively, let me just look at who we've got. We've got another few guys who could make it as like third pairing guys. So we don't necessarily have to take a guy high overall. Because we got these 4. We could take a defenseman and replace Kairu, but I have faith for him. I mean, then we have a lot of offensive defensemen, that's the thing. But it might not matter that much. Because we got Lacombe and Luno, you never know with him. Because we already have quite a few good defensemen. Our forwards are looking a little not as good. We got those 5 and then some other guys. Let's make our first pick and then we can decide. So we got a right wing, Conroy. And I know Terry's a right wing, but he could be a second liner if this guy's really good. And then we only have another one left wing. We have one of each really in Kulich. This guy, Celebrity's a sniper, and he should score quite a bit being like a user-created player. Man, this is tough. Obviously, like, it's a franchise guy, but it's just not as fun because it's a computer-created guy. So Terry is sniper? Yeah. And he's a good sniper at that, too. Zegras is a playmaker with quite good shooting. McTavish is a power forward. I love that. Carlson is a playmaker. He won't score. And Kulich is a sniper. So I don't really need a scorer. Like, obviously Kulich doesn't have the shot yet. Hopefully it'll develop because Terry and Zegras can already score. McTavish looks like he'll have a shot eventually. Oh man, this is tough. I like that growth from Sidorov. I forgot to go over our growth tables here. For the YouTube, I'll take the franchise, just for the fun of it. 17 years old, 83 overall. Yeah, just cheese guy. Let's sim up to 20, see where everybody else went. Kiviharu. So yeah, that that other defenseman fell all the way back here. This guy would have been nice, like a solid guy. But usually these guys only grow up to like an 87, and then they're not even that good. Yeah. So like realistically, this should be the first three of the draft, and I like that a lot better. But it's just the created guys, because then Cotton, um, Dickinson, see more created guys. Oh my gosh. And then it gets back to here. Silayev, this is interesting guy, 6'7", 73 overall. Juracek, Hudson. So yeah. Then we were looking at Tanner Howe. I wasn't so sure about him. Weak team utilization. Hemming could be a guy. Like that's like a realistic pick that I could take. He's also only 17, 6'2", same height as me. But then it was like this guy. Maybe we could look to trade up to get that. Because I know we have a second. Who did we have pinned there? This guy I like, but like not. He's a fourth liner guy. 80. That's a third rounder though. I think I saved a second rounder. So maybe we could even just trade up. We have a lot of picks, so maybe just trade up to get the guy that we actually want. Let's see. He's at 36. So 33, 34, 35, 36. Maybe see what Nashville wants. Moving up 9 spots. So if we give them... Do we have any extra picks from this draft? Maybe we have some prospects. Like, I know we have an extra goalie prospect. Dostal, Klang, Clara. I don't know. I feel like by the time Klang's ready, we're still going to be wanting to give Dostal the chance. Let's go. Do they need a goalie prospect? They shouldn't. They got Askarov. No, they don't need that. Don't really have a guy I'd look to trade in this. Like even like Lacombe. I feel like I want to give him a shot. Offensive, but he might be a guy who can play on the third. Sidorov, I like him. Petre even. Grinder, oh yeah. Pastujov. Maybe they want Pastujov. Or this guy. Oh, power forward, I like him. Terrence. Center, sniper. We'll give you this. He was a second rounder. So kind of giving almost up too much, but I think that's good. Because I don't think I was going to use that guy anyways. So then this way, we could pick. I liked Hemming. If we wanted to get another defensive prospect, we could, just to kind of keep it even. He's 4 years away. I think Alec is too. Vasainen is 4 years away as well. Yamchuk was 3. Could look, a big right-handed defenseman. Could be interesting. Obviously, Demidov is tempting. This guy's created. 1 year away. No, I'll go with my gut. Take Hemming. Maybe next draft we'll focus on getting a couple higher rated defensemen. Because he was like good defensively, or at least rated good defensively. Because he's European. So I could see him being maybe like an offensive third liner. And then take this other guy who probably will play either first line AHL or third line NHL next year. 70s. That's ridiculous. Like, he's listed as a third line forward. In the USHL, he had 50 points. So 71. I think that's still, we had a guy at 80. And then we might have to trade up if we really want Jarnqvist. I actually think that would be really good in third round to get a guy who could be a good defenseman for us. So I will take... No, I will not take you. Oh, there he is. And then we will have to trade up a few spots. So where's our next pick? That was 96, our next pick. So 96, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. He was at 89 here, so I like to go a few ahead. Maybe even to Detroit here. And I wasn't really interested in anybody later in the draft, so what would be realistic to move up 10 spots in the third round? We will, let's say like a 5th this year, and then they can give me back like a 7th from next year or something. So some weird thing, because they got 2 7ths, so even better. Some weird NHL trade you might see at the draft. I don't know. I just try to be realistic. I don't know. So here we go. This is really nice if he's, yeah, oh yeah, that's 63. Good potential. Two-way defenseman. I like two-way rather than offensive or defensive, unless they're an elite guy. And he can play both sides, so I actually really like that right there. And then I don't have anybody else pinned, so let's just see what we got. So we got a 4th and a 6th and a 7th because we traded our 5th there. After this, it's all kind of just guessing. I feel like this guy's real. Lack size. Don't love that out of a later pick. Let's also look at points. 1 goal. Only 15 points in the queue. No thanks. 48 points as an 18-year-old center. Could be a two-way forward. Oh, wow. Defensive zone play is a strength. That's not confirmed, but 6'1". I know this guy's a high bottom 6. I think he's not really a guy I'd look for. Should I take another defenseman maybe? I don't like taking lows here because they're all really bad potential. What about this guy? For Jay Gendron. I know this guy's not bad. I like this guy. High top 7. Yeah. So not bad. Then we got a 6th rounder, and I think let's do something fun with our 7th. I always like doing something fun with the 7th. See if there's any, maybe there's like a created guy that we can get. That guy's real. This guy's real. This guy might not be. Shot utilization only 5'10". Tommaso De Luca. He's a confirmed AHL. 3 years away though, at 19. Teammate utilization, no thanks. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. This guy's created. Face-offs, balance, center. He's 19, 3 years away. Sure, I like it. Tough, but expected. And then with this pick, I mean, I could trade down, but like, whatever. Like, especially in this first draft, 6'4" centerman. Don't know much about him though. 6'3" centerman, same thing. Brady Stonehouse. Oh yeah. I don't know why I remember that name. What I like doing is seeing who the biggest guy is and just getting him for fun, especially in this first year where there's real guys. There's this guy. I don't think so. He's 6'7", but this guy's 6'6". 19. Just for fun. This guy's at 230 at 6'2". That's crazy. Ethan Martin. He's only like, he's not even ranked that far out, so let's just take him for fun. Not even that bad. Could be a stud AHLer for us going forward. 6'6", 250. Wouldn't want to see that coming down nice at me. So yeah, that's not a bad draft. I forgot, I usually would have done this before, or like right after the season ended. Winnipeg made another trade too. They traded their first again for Ryan Leonard. They traded back, huh? That's interesting. So progress reports, let's just look at that for fun. Because they have morale on now. So Zegras, he was what, an 86? So he went up 4 points. Terry. Kaloran. I think orange means like stat growth more. I haven't used this for a long time. Looks like McTavish is all... Oh yeah, here it shows you. Okay, so it's kind of more stat growth. Let me see here. So it's, yeah, obviously it's all stat growth here. And Terry, it's all stat growth as well, which is whatever. He's a little bit older. Zegras, let's see what his is. Lots of natural growth, so that's nice to see out of Zegras. See if he can do that in real life. Carlson, all natural growth. Stat, he actually lost some because of, I'm not sure, it's not even in his defensive awareness, but Silverberg's getting worse. Dostal, all natural growth, lovely. Zellweger, he was a 72, and he had some morale growth, but all natural growth. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Kulich, all natural, lovely. McGinn, he was actually a good fourth line. Like, he's a good fourth liner with if he doesn't have negative. I guess he was not happy being on the fourth line. Lundstrom, oh no. A lot of morale going down. Not what you want to see. Grew could be in the fourth line next year. And then... That's just crazy, actually. Sidorov, just crazy growth. Crazy growth as a former third overall, or third round pick. I didn't even have him signed. He was in the queue. Savoy's growing. Kairu. This should all be natural growth down here because there's no NHL growth. Klang. So there's another option for goaltending right behind. Luno, good, good. some other guys who we'll just have to see how they do. So yeah, let's get to signing some players. It shouldn't be too interesting signing here. I think we're pretty low. Like we gotta. Is Matthew Dingle? Are you a good scout? Do we want to resign you? C. No thanks. Not gonna be too interesting. I think we've got to add some cap, 40 million space because of that. Staylock, we can sign a different guy. Clara, we should sign him. Where's he playing? Oh yeah, I moved him to the O, so let's sign him. We don't really need a goalie. Well, maybe put a goalie in the NHL. Get a starter even, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 extra. Dioncino should be signed. Dionicio, because he should be able to play. Port should be able to as well at this point. He's only 18 somehow still. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably not going to sign many of these AHL guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 extra guys. Lacombe obviously is going to stay. Vakanainen, former first overall pick. He wants the actual money, and like, yeah. Hag, we can release. Carrick. I guess we could just decide by who actually wants money. Although I guess it doesn't matter. We're just gonna give them one. So how many have I released? 2. I've released 2 guys, so 3, 4, 5. But Zellweger could be an NHLer next year. Maybe we'll want to play them there. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like if we might as well have one more bad year, so not really try to make any other signings. So we could play Hellison in the NHL. We could play Hines. We could even play these two, because I'm not too even Warren. I didn't sign him. I probably wouldn't have signed him if with that potential. Just play like guys who aren't gonna grow, and then we can leave the AHL for the rest of them. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have Hellison and Hines in the NHL. Because, like, obviously he was a former second, but with his growth he hasn't been that good. Let's do that. And then maybe next year we can start making trades and signings to try to make the playoffs. Or maybe in free agency we can decide. Because last year we were going to make the playoffs. We traded off a bunch of guys. Our defensive core isn't looking that good. Forwards is looking decent. Killorn obviously is still there. Conroy. Silverberg's been here for a long time, but I'm just going to see what's in free agency. I got to remember with morale that's going to affect things, but 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fox are just not doing very well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 extra, 5 extra. 4 extra. Petre, definitely put in the AHL. Hemming, I think he's in Finland, so I'll put him in the AHL. Even Mijatkovic, I'll play him if he's allowed. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're back up to 8 extra. Nestorenko, he's young, but obviously we can have a little extra, get a few extra guys. Scotty, and you can go. Like Faxa, we could just leave him as dead weight. Well, obviously, but Sidorov will get in there. Is there anybody else we want to release? We could release Rigata. He could be a good AHLer. DeLeo, he's been here for a long time, but I don't need him. These guys can all go. Grew, we might as well just give you that because we're not struggling. He's just asking for more because he was in the AHL all last year and he's still asking for a contract. It doesn't really make sense. Lundestrom will be asking for some, but oh, alright, well, whatever, we'll just give you that. Jones will probably release. Leeson, he's a big guy. He could be like a first line AHLer.